Two grown men have never seen The Simpsons. It's America's barley basket.
Well, now what?
What purpose do the ear goggles serve you there? Is that like...
So I can hear how loud each of us are?
Oh, I was thinking there's like gauges you went by.
Oh, there are, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't 100% go by those.
Just keep them on. You look like the guitar player in Linkin Park.
I mean, I could. I could keep them on. It'd probably sound better. I'd be able to monitor it better. The right move is to keep them on.
Am I right? Was that a thing? There's a member of Linkin Park that always had
no idea.
And big ear cans on.
No clue. Cerebral audio nodes.
Ooh.
Cans.
I think it's time for you to get into a real Linkin Park stage in your life.
How so? What does that mean?
Spikier hair.
Okay.
Ball-bearing necklace.
Okay.
Tighter tank tops, baggy pants.
This is just a new metal thing.
Yeah,
You
right?
want me in a new metal
Well,
thing.
you're thinking man's new metal. You know,
Lip ring, probably.
Yeah, you carry a thesaurus.
Holy fuck! If I just showed up next week with a lip ring,
That didn't address
refused to address
it. Yeah, clearly infected.
Marlin, that thing is fucking red.
Talking about new metal, there is a cold/orgy double bill on tour right now, and it's coming to the cities. Man, how many times does Orgy sing Blue Monday?
4. Yeah. They tent pole it. Probably 3. Open with it, 1 in the middle, and 1 to close.
Close with an acoustic one. It's like
Boy, acoustic Blue Monday is not a song I want to hear.
I can't. They had a good single on their second album that went nowhere, but like.
Yeah, I just know Blue Monday like everyone else, which is a cover. Like, it's not even their song.
There are a lot of covers popping with the new metal scene. Mm-hmm. You had George Michael's Faith. I got Limp Bizkit on the map.
Yeah.
Alien Ant Farm was Smooth Criminal.
Yeah.
And that was, unfortunately, their biggest hit. They had many other good songs. I'm a big stan for Alien Ant Farm.
Yeah, you're a weirdly big Alien Ant Farm fan.
Just as I'm a big Cold fan.
I like Bleed.
Yeah.
I could take or leave Stupid Girl. I don't really give a fuck about Stupid Girl.
I think it's funny that got to be their biggest hit. Like,
I think it's weird.
Yeah.
Bleed is a legitimately good fucking depresso song.
Yeah, they're very depressing.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
They have more of a grunge ethos. They aim the knife towards themselves instead of at their moms or whoever.
They're fucking sad boys is what they are.
God, this is new metal night to hear at.
Welcome to New Metal Talk on America's Barley Basket.
I just recently listened to a 2019 Korn album in its entirety.
Was it the one with Skrillex on it?
No, post that. Because I just happened to see that there was a Korn album that got really good reviews. I was like, huh.
Interesting.
And it was like, I was like, I wonder why, or like, did it like, was it a hit? No more or less than
of course
anything they've done in the last decade. But like, it came after his mother passing away and his wife, Jonathan Davis's wife, dying of an overdose.
Oh.
That son of a bitch was suicidal when he was at the top of the world. Yeah. Some of those songs are so goddamn bleak. I ended up playing in the background as I was swiffering the hardwood floors.
Oh, God. To have been a fly on the wall for that.
Right. Just me, dude. Look at me being productive. As he's wailing his guts out, screaming, why, God, why?
Oh,
there's like just one song where he just screams, I failed over and over again. Oh. It's like, holy moly, this is a bummer.
John, come over here. Yeah. We're going to get you some juice.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. That got me reading up. God, what are we doing on this podcast? That got me reading up on Korn.
Oh, okay.
And they had an album. You would know the title of it, I'm sure. I think it was maybe Issues.
That is a Korn album.
Do you know so you got Follow the Leader. It was that really popped them hard.
Yeah, that has Freak on a Leash on it.
What came next then?
Is Life is Peachy before Follow the Leader? Then it's Issues.
Okay, and then whatever the album after Issues was they don't know for sure, but may have been the most expensive album ever made.
Interesting.
The stories of like what they like, the money that they had, like what it was is they kept every like studio like engineer from the lowest to the biggest on retainer for 2.5 years.
Jesus, just on call,
Yep.
like fucking maternity doctors.
Yeah, exactly. They just say, hey, we're going to need you. We're going to take our time with this. Because back then you were printing fucking money with CD sales. And that took that, during that 2.5 years, Napster exploded. So that album made like a 10.
Amazing.
Because then they talk about like the next album, they're recording it in their buddy Randy's garage.
Yep.
It's like, do you guys remember when like we just had an open checkbook to do what we wanted? But like,
It's like going from living in a museum to living in a shack.
yeah. But like, then they talk about, like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm so goddamn proud of that because everything was perfect. Like, there was no like, I wish we could have done this. Nope, we had it all and we took advantage of it. And
Wonder if that's the one with "Y'all Want a Single" on it. That's
It's
a good song.
Here to
That would have
Stay
been around that time.
was the big single or the big opening single, but you can tell it didn't have the staying power as the previous albums.
So
did. Like,
not Here to Stay.
yeah, right. The irony, the bitter irony. So I want that "Y'all Want a Single" so dorky.
It's
dude.
so dorky, and I love it so much. I love it so much.
Was Twisted Transistor around the
Oh, that would have been around that time.
Yeah.
That might be the next record.
yeah. And then that one was even falling farther away, no pun intended.
Yeah. Oh boy.
From, you know, the brass ring of commercial success. And then after that, they're fucking, staying in a fucking efficiency apartment with Skrillex.
That Skrillex record at least got people talking. I don't know if it was any good or not.
Yeah. You know, just like, I'm sure Golden Cobra isn't any good, but whatever that Limp Bizkit album was, but
No.
that got people talking.
Boy, I'm having trouble trying to remember which Limp Bizkit record is which. Which is the big comeback one that released within the last 2 years.
Oh,
That's
that
not
still
Golden
sucks.
Cobra. Yeah. That's a fucking good album.
Yeah, Still Sucks is the new metal Chinese democracy. They started that in like 2010 and just fits and starts couldn't get it done.
The new metal Chinese democracy should be the name of like a stand-up record
Right?
of yours or a podcast or I forget what it's called. There's a like a half effort of a Limp Bizkit comeback record. It's called like something Part 1. I don't know if there were meant to be more parts or not, but it is so fucking good. It's like an EP. There's only like 6 or 8 tracks. It sounds like Limp Bizkit trying to be Rage Against the Machine, and it rules.
Interesting.
It's very good. But yeah, Limp Bizkit Still Sucks is a fucking good record.
Another new metal album that got good reviews somehow.
Yeah, it
That's
is good.
That Dad Vibes song, I'm sure, has got to be on
Dad
there.
Vibes is good. I don't think I would even call Dad Vibes the best one. You listen to it and you're like, yeah, I get why this is the single.
Yeah,
but
it's silly and unique.
yeah. Just like Limp Bizkit, baby.
Yeah, fuck it. That is very true. God, I had no beef with any part of that band except Fred Durst.
I mean,
I just was too old. If I would have discovered that when I was 14, it would have meant more to me. Like, I was old enough, like, this seems so fucking lame. Just, I'm angry. No.
there's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
There's a little of a meow, meow, meow attitude towards it. To me, it's really case by case with each song. Like I love Rearrange, but I think In Together Now is so like whiny and dumb.
Yeah.
And I love Break Stuff, but I think Behind Blue Eyes is terrible.
Oh boy, that's bad.
Like, you know, they're hit or miss. They strike out or hit a home run. And very little in between.
Some of those big, giant, dunderheaded hits they had in their prime, which I thought was so terrible when I was like 22. Now I'm like, nothing wrong with Rollin'.
Rollin' is maybe their best song. I love Rollin'.
I'm a big. What was the single before Faith off $3 Bill now?
Nookie?
No, that's
later.
That's Significant Other.
Yeah. They all
Counterfeit
together for me.
You might not even. I don't even know if that was probably ever in rotation at Q98. But there was a video,
Counterfeit.
and I was like, oh, these guys aren't bad. And then that went nowhere. But then the George Michael cover kicked off, and then I remember, watching that video for Nookie debut on MTV, and I'm like, God, these guys are gonna be the big thing.
That video was inescapable because that would have been around about the time we got satellite television. So I was like watching a lot of VH1 and MTV, and it was constant. You couldn't not. The three videos you couldn't escape were Nookie, Ba With The Ba, and Freak on a Leash.
That'd have been like summer of '98, summer of '99.
And Madonna's Ray of Light.
It's a good pull. She like the desert. Yeah.
Yep.
Not a bad song. I could put together a 15-track Madonna greatest hits that I would enjoy.
You should do that. I could maybe do 6.
Yeah.
It'd be an EP for me.
I think Music, was a very good.
Music's a good song.
She, mid-aughts, that Hung Up song, had to have been.
I don't know that one.
Yeah. You probably maybe
might know it if I hear it.
Yeah, but definitely the last song of hers you could ever say that about.
Okay.
Because before that was that cringy rap-ish single she tried to put out that was so
boy,
you're a mom. You're a 50-year-old white lady. Not the 50-year-old white ladies. If you want to rap, God bless you. But
you have mentioned how much you hate a rapping mom.
Yeah. I do a lot.
Yep. It's come
My name
up.
is Mama, and I'm here to say picking up your laundry is a major way.
Oh, God.
Oh. And nothing makes you want to become an arsonist, like rapping moms in commercials. Telling a prison psychiatrist that. I saw a fruit by a foot commercial and it's a rapping mom.
If don't clean your room, gonna take a toll. Invite your friends over for pizza rolls.
And there's
just
only,
the sound of a cocking shotgun and one shot from Nathan's room.
Not again.
Not again.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
I'm pretty sure the professional wrestler rapper PN News. God, yeah, that predates you watching it.
No idea what
PN
you're
News,
talking about.
5'10", 420 pounds, shaped like a dumpster, and whiter than you or I. As white as white can be. And they decide he's the rapper.
Oh, boy.
I think his name was like Paul New, like Neu, like in real life. So
sure.
He just becomes PN News. And every rap, I'm PN News, and I'm here to say, God damn it.
something major way.
Yeah. Oh, boy. God damn it. What do you think Ole Anderson thought of that? How mean was Ole Anderson to that poor guy?
Oh, yeah. Ole Anderson bullied him.
It wasn't his idea. Like, hey, I'm going to be the fat white rapper.
Oh, boy.
That dude must have fucked off to Japan or something because he wasn't old when he was doing that. So he had to have been wrestling in the Attitude Era.
Sure.
Just not.
Not on TV?
Yeah, on the indies. But like, I remember I'm pretty sure he could kind of work for a great big fat person.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But he was also Hugh Morris. Big. Hugh Morris after a few too many trips to Endless Shrimp. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of mass muscle there, but there was also 100 pounds of fat.
Also a little chunk, yeah.
Hugh Morris probably doesn't deserve that day. He was pretty he probably didn't have defined abs, but he wasn't a fat guy.
Hugh Morris after a summer off is what this fellow looked like.
Hugh Morris recovering from knee surgery.
Hugh Morris could do a moonsault.
I think, So I want to sort of go on record and apologize to Hugh Morris wherever you are.
Hugh Morris was Goldberg's first victory.
No shit.
Fun fact.
Probably gave them Hugh Morris because Hugh Morris knows how to wrestle.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he, I think, eventually didn't he kind of get in hot water? He was a trainer for WWF.
At WWE, and then was
doing things,
bullying people,
doing things the old way.
Yes, exactly.
Sure, a lot of emotional and physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I like how that's what wrestling used to just be.
Yeah, and we just shrugged it off just now. He was doing stuff like they used to.
Just gonna keep breaking your arm, and if you come back after the 5th time, I guess he wants this bad enough.
As if we're talking about the POS software that a server uses. Oh, they haven't updated it. We're using the old stuff still.
And it's still using DOS.
You know, things run a little hitchy there during the transition. So,
despite all of his lies, I'm pretty sure that has been proven true, that Hulk Hogan got his leg broke immediately, like his first day. Like,
yeah, I believe
Hey,
that.
break this guy's leg.
Yeah.
He seems like a pussy. Imagine that training at any other job. You're like Dairy Queen. They just put your hand in the fryer. He'll be back if he wants to work here.
Gotta weed him out, you know? You're gonna wash out just because I stuck your fucking face, tried to drown you in the soft serve? You're gonna go home and cry like a bitch, or you gonna be back tomorrow?
Probably gonna go home and cry.
I don't want to work at Dairy Queen.
Pretty sure Ric Flair quit wrestling training, and then Vern Gagne like drug him out of his house and slapped the fuck out of him in his front yard and forced him into the car.
Do we need someone to make Whiplash but wrestling?
Yeah. Oh man, it'd be so much more depressing.
I suppose that's kind of Iron Claw a little bit.
Yeah. Ever get around to watching that?
No, I never did. I'm waiting for it to hit Max, which should be like next month maybe.
Okay.
So.
It's Laugh Riot.
Yeah, I've heard it's a fun one. I'm going to throw a party.
Yeah, good date.
I'm going to watch it for my birthday.
Yeah. Just waving a pennant that says wrestling.
Like Homer with his sports pennant.
Oh man, I could stand to have a sports pennant hanging up in my home.
That'd be a pretty funny bit. Yeah. The real G's would get it.
Yeah, right?
The real Simpson G's.
Yeah. God, it feels like it's been forever since we watched The Simpsons.
It has been, man. Like we've been doing this no Simpsons shit for a couple of months now.
So what do we look? Well, I mean, we got a poke still.
Yeah, like November.
Yeah. If you missed The Simpsons, you just gotta wait 6 months.
You know who I feel bad for are the people who've never listened to the show ever, and then Google Simpsons podcasts, download the most recent one, and are like, "What the fuck? This isn't a goddamn Simpsons podcast at all.
This isn't anything. There's nothing at all."
Like, no, you got to start from the beginning. We're sorry. We're in the off season now.
At this point, The Simpsons is the off season.
Yeah. Yep.
Or we have a very short season.
It is a 100% valid thing to ask, who is this podcast for? Now more than ever. It's always been valid, but it's really valid right now.
That last 4 minutes is the most Simpsons talk in the last month.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But we'll keep showing up.
We'll keep punching in.
What else are we going to do?
As long as you, faithful listener, keep tuning in.
Even if you don't, frankly.
We're completionists. We'll have to get to a nice even number.
Right, yeah, before we put a bullet in this thing.
Yeah, got to get that nice final cover.
Yeah.
250.
Or whatever, yeah. Nathan, I've been playing a lot of blackjack.
I've noticed this from afar. I applaud it.
I've been playing a lot of blackjack, Nathan. All this month I've gone, the month of March I have gone at least once a week and a couple of twice a weeks.
Ooh, okay.
The entire month of March. Last night I went and played black. So I need to be better about reading signs from the universe.
Yep.
I went out last night with a friend and we had pizza, and then I was on my way home and I was like, I had thought about it all day. I'm gonna play blackjack tonight. So I went to one bar here in town on the way home and was like, fucking packed, and the table was full with a row of people standing behind it. I was like, wow, I'm not gonna do this. So I went to the other bar out here in the suburbs, and it also was packed, but I saw, the blackjack table doesn't seem to have anybody at it. So I went over there. They were using the blackjack table as a staging area for the meat raffle that was happening. So I was like, well, fuck me. And so I went home, just like, well, I guess I don't get to play blackjack today. I'm sitting at home for a couple of hours doing a little busy work, and I was like, I bet it's cleared up at that first place by now. Got back in my car, drove to that first place. Sure enough, nobody at the blackjack table.
Okay.
Dealers sitting there on their phones. I'm like, here we go, baby. And I had the worst night of blackjack in my entire life. The universe told you to go home, but nope, you had to fucking go out.
Spit in God's eye.
I have a rule, $100. That's all I'm doing. I hope to come out ahead. If I don't, whatever. Odds, but I'll play for an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours and go home.
Yeah.
I lost $100 betting $10 hands in 7 minutes.
Yep. Isn't that fun? Unbelievable when it just vacuums away.
I had 4 double downs go the wrong way. I had 0 double downs go the way they're supposed to. Like, didn't even get all the way through the first shoot.
Oh, isn't that wild?
I was like, what just happened?
My thing is when I sit down, I usually don't have a set amount of money, which I should. I have, like, if I'm getting demolished, I'll finish this. Once I'm done drinking this drink, if I'm getting my ass kicked, I'll go.
Sure.
But sometimes I have 7/8 of a drink left because it's like, what just happened?
Yeah, you need a better punch out indicator.
Oh
than
my
that.
God.
I was like, just okay, lost the first hand. Okay, push. Yeah. Okay, lost again. Okay, lost again. And I was like, it turns around. I know it turns around. It always does. I've been here. I've been on a 3-hand losing streak before. It turns around. And then like 11, double down, 13. Fuck, you know. And then I had several. Last night that dealer had a 5-card hand that landed on 20 to beat my 19. Yeah. I was like, what are you doing? Like, no, that's not how this is supposed to go.
It's not fun.
Like, I literally, she took that last chip away from me, and I was just like, have a good one. And I pushed the chair in and went home.
Yeah, they're used to that.
Yeah. 7 minutes.
Oh, I played 2 nights ago here in Fargo. And a guy sat down next to me because I don't mind playing alone, but I don't. If someone's not a drunk, which taking them 5 minutes to play one hand, I love having a few people at the table. You know, just makes your money last a little longer. You know,
as long as I got elbow room.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't want to be squished in
because like it's one of those. Oh, there's 8 spots but 4 chairs fit around it.
Yeah.
So you got people reaching over to bet and shit. I don't know.
And I had been treading water perfectly fine, you know, been tipping. So, like, I was thinking if I could tread water and I'm throwing some tips around, maybe I buy a drink off chips, I'm ahead. Mm-hmm. This other guy sits down, nice dude. I think he gets $100, 80 and $5 chips, the rest in singles. Plays 2 $5 spots each time.
Sure.
Bets on every hand, or tips every hand every time. Mm-hmm. I watched that guy get every one of his bets vacuumed. And he just let out an exhale. It's like, whew. Okay. He had to take a couple seconds to compute it. And the dealer was so crestfallen. You could just see it in his face.
Because every tip goes away.
He's like, if I can hook him up and he's winning, he'll do that all night.
Yeah.
He'll play for 2 hours. And me and the other dealer will make $150 in tips, you know, but nope, not. Oh, I know that feeling too. When someone who's very generous gets just fucking their head kicked in.
I'm still up for the month of March, so I'm not downtrodden. But boy, last night was a bummer.
Yeah, wait till you get a month-long run like that. Oof. That's just like, why? Just let me lose money slowly.
Right. I'll stay here all night.
Yeah. God, you get in a bar where you can control the touch tunes? That's living. Mm-hmm. Boy, that's sad that's living. Really get into my Kirk Van Houten existence. You have Spotify on your phone. Like, you can just be at home and listen to it.
You can just wear earbuds to the blackjack table.
Something about touch tunes. Hey, that's my song. Look at me.
Yeah, I get it. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do it at comedy shows. After the comedy show, I'll take over the touch tunes and put some
you
music
will,
on
yeah.
there.
Like you're big. I wouldn't call it jukebox terrorism, but you're doing a lot of incognito work in the shadows.
Yeah, and it's definitely stuff that's never been played on this hillbilly jukebox ever. Like, roll into a town with 200 people, nothing but cowboy hats and jingling spurs all around, and I'm playing Homies by ICP and Run Around Sue. I'm all over the road. Mambo number 5.
Yeah. The first time I heard the term jukebox terrorism used was a buddy of mine's go-to move is if it's like a packed bar full of like middle-aged women who are get wild and out. putting on Weird Al's Eat It, because this beginning sounds just like the dance floor's packed, and all of a sudden it's fucking Weird Al.
God damn it.
What's this? I don't like this.
Yeah, because you hear boom, da, 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 you're in it. What's the one John Mulaney talked about on that one special? Do What's New Pussycat by Tom Jones.
Tom Jones, yeah.
Over and over again, because the seam is almost invisible, so you don't notice until you've been listening to What's New Pussycat for 15 minutes. So,
that's great.
Something about the way it ends and the way it starts blends together so seamlessly.
Well, on that note, I'm going to be doing my old radio show for the first time in years. And the whole goof about that is I put together these giant playlists of all these eclectic artists and songs. But in reality, I just play Cotton Eye Joe over and over again. That's another song, too. If you have a guy that knows how to run the board, fade it out, and then fade it back in, it's like, what just happened? Like, this can't still be Cotton Eye Joe. And you just sit back and watch the phone lines fill up.
God damn it, stop.
My favorite thing to do, play dumb. Like, we're playing the songs we're playing. I don't understand. Check your dial.
It says here I'm playing For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah. I think you should maybe see what's wrong on your end.
Like, because people, like, the people who are still listening to the radio at that hour are, like, at work, you know, and they're either not in control or it's not convenient to go change it. Or they're, like, working in their garage and the radio is sitting up on one of the beams so you can hear it throughout the Quonset. Like,
they're working in a kitchen and it's busy. It's dinner time, you know.
No one's got the time to go steal the radio.
Please quit playing Cotton Eye. I would occasionally have a tinge of, like, my conscience would, like, it's like, would it be someone, like, not mad but sad?
Yeah.
Like, hey,
just
man,
please.
like, just stop playing Cotton Eye. Because right away, it was 3 hours. Like, they had a lot of airtime to fill.
Jesus.
From what I was told, it was a very popular topic at the DJ monthly meeting at KNDS. Some of them thought it was great. The others fucking hated it.
That's how desperate they are to fill, to have anybody still want to do radio, that they'll let you continue.
Well, they did cut me off pretty quick in the original run. Now I just get to sneak in on April Fool's Day.
Sure. I don't know if it's a hot take or not. Like, listen, hearing Cotton Eye Joe 47 times in a row will drive you to self-harm. But Cotton Eye Joe one time, Cotton Eye Joe's a banger. Like, now that we're far enough away from it, you know, like there was a time in my life, I swear to God, if I hear Cotton Eye Joe one more time, I'm going to fucking jump off this bridge. But, like, I heard Cotton Eye Joe the other day for the first time in probably years, and I was like, this song kind of fucking rips. This song kind of whips hot ass.
What a weird part of, like, pop culture.
Yes.
Like when they wrote that, it's like this, did they know this will be played at wedding dances for 25 years in a row?
That this will be the chicken dance for today's generation.
Like, do they do Rednecks, REDNEX? Do they tour?
No
do
idea.
They have fans?
So I saw on TikTok maybe a month ago, I had never seen the members of Rednecks.
Oh, yeah.
I saw video of them performing on a stage. It had to have been in 1997 when that song was huge because the audience is huge and into it.
Yeah.
But it's like, these are just juggalos is who these people are.
I feel like they're European too.
No idea.
Pretending to be like West Virginia rednecks.
I believe that.
I think that's their story.
It sounds like a European song.
Yeah, it sure does.
It sounds like European techno of the time.
Yeah, like with the women vocal line coming in at the end. God, that was a common thing.
Yeah. The horse whinny sound drop in the middle of it. Like, that song's good.
There's worse songs.
It's good once.
Yeah. I wonder what the most we ever played it in one run of that radio show.
Jesus Christ.
25 times.
Oh, my God.
You know, 3 hours, man. I mean, we bantered a lot, but boy, that was a lot of Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I bet the best thing is too, he had to upload it. My buddy who like worked at the station, he had to upload it into like the music, like the library.
Yeah.
So late at night when it's just playing in the library, it's like once in a while Cotton Eye Joe comes on.
God.
And like he made pitch perfect interstitials, like PBS radio, like Minnesota Public Radio sounding like, oh, it was pitch perfect. Like Perspectives on KNDS with like light jazz playing in the background. So good.
Radio's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have any like affinity for terrestrial radio, it's like, yeah, you missed something. You're like an important thing missed you.
Yeah.
To this day, I like if I'm in a new city driving, let's see what the radio stations around here are like. Do they mostly suck?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Are they now almost all the same with no human ever talking?
Because two companies own them all.
Yeah.
Yep.
But every once in a while you get a little gold.
It's wild to listen to satellite radio and be like, boy, all these jocks are terrible.
Yeah.
Like how is any jock that I worked with in my radio career in terrestrial radio better than literally any of these people? Like horrible.
Once you pointed that out, I now pay attention to that and like this is bad.
Because like to still be working in terrestrial radio, you got to be pretty fucking good at it.
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't pay worth a damn, and they keep just downsizing. So it's now this distilled, pure group of people who really love it working in terrestrial radio, and they're good at it because they work hard at it because they love it.
Yeah.
But so why is satellite radio unable to get anybody worth a shit to talk in between songs?
Yeah, that's baffling. It has to wonder what it's to the point now I will pay attention. Like, let's see how bad this person is. And it sticks out when there's someone that's competent.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, look at this guy knowing what he's doing.
Look at this. Like, clever, informative, and on to the next thing.
It almost feels like sometimes they're playing a character. It's like, oh, I'm doing this type of music.
Yeah.
Now I have to be this type of person. It's not very genuine.
Right. Well, odds are the way it works. Like, odds are they track it. They record for a dozen different stations, so they have to switch around their personality.
Yeah. Like, this might be tough if you haven't worked in it in a while. Maybe you wouldn't know this. Let's say you're a mid-market classic rock station and, owned by some mega global tech incorporated. What hours of the day is there a human being there, like announcing the next song or like the upcoming stuff?
Oh, man.
Is it just office hours now?
Oh, it's less than that for sure.
Really?
It's probably just the morning show and the drive time, if I were to guess.
Really? Wow.
But like maybe someone's there all day, but
so you think there's a chance from like 10 to 3 p.m.?
Probably not someone in there.
That's insane.
I would give you 85% odds there's no one in there.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, that shit was happening even way back when I was in radio in like 2006 when I was pretty new to it. Even back then, like you would say you're on from 10 to 2. You got the midday shift.
Yeah.
Like odds are you're hopping in the fucking production studio and recording your whole shift because you got 5 ads to cut and you got all this other work on top of you that you need to get done. You don't have time to sit in the studio all day.
Oh, interesting.
Because they cut staff sizes down to nothing.
I remember taking a tour of the little FM country station in my hometown. Mm-hmm. This would have been, I think I was in Boy Scouts. I was a little kid. It's been like 89. I feel like would they have been spinning records in 89?
No way.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of but it was some kind of physical media. God, CDs in 89?
Might have been CDs or tapes. I don't know.
Could have been. I think they were like, wonder what a radio station was doing 35 years ago. What's the best quality audio? Because they had to been playing something better than the cassette tape you'd buy at Target, right? Maybe not.
No, I'm sure they got the same. I bet they got the same singles that you could buy off the shelves.
No kidding, yeah. What, talk about a job back then. You're just putting a cassette in. They had to have some kind of like multi-loading thing, right? To have,
yeah, multiple decks, so you're lining them up. You know, what a time that was. That's when the guy was in the booth the whole goddamn time. So it's changing. I bet that was such a jarring change where they're telling these haggard old long-haired DJs, "Okay, this is a computer." I bet that transition was weird.
Yeah, I'm like getting a fucking horse to ride a bike, just like holding their wrists, making them type.
I missed out on the days of the carts where it was like almost like an 8-track looking thing, like kerchunk, and you put it into this machine, and everything was on carts. You made commercials, recorded it onto carts, and you were constantly in and out, kerchunk, taking these big cartridges in and out. I missed out on that. And then, like, making commercials physically with a razor, cutting the tape to seam them together and shit.
What the hell?
I missed it. It was digital by the time I showed up.
Yeah, I wonder when that changed. You probably didn't miss it by much, I bet. And
probably not. We still had CD players in the studio when I first showed up, just in case, like, oh, the fucking computer crashed. Like, now you're playing CDs.
Oh, when did that ever happen? Well,
yeah, it happened a few times.
No
or sometimes
kidding.
It's planned, like, hey, we have to shut it down to update it and restart it. So we got into the habit of making burned CDs with, like, a song and then a liner, like an in-between interstitial and a song, so you could fake it a little easier.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, but that was always tricky. Like, okay, fade that down. It hits the liner. Okay, hit the CD now and let it. Okay, all right, quick, tear this shit down. Like a fucking elaborate costume change.
Yeah. That CD has a scratch in it.
Oh no!
Do you ever recall in your youth buying physical media? Ever buy a CD that had a flaw from the factory? I can think of two. Like, that's a weird. Like, what the fuck? Like, you put it, okay, got a brand new CD, put it in. And I think I remember one was Ozzy Osbourne's, that late 90s greatest hits he put out.
Okay, yeah.
Ozman Cometh, maybe, something like that. And I remember and I looked, this pristine back, but then, like, with a perfect, like, machine cut, just gash, like, it had to be from the factory, like, so, like, tracks 8 through the rest of the album wouldn't fucking play.
Awesome.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And Black Rebel Motorcycle Club's first CD.
Okay, yeah.
It was like, you got, like, most of the good shit was in the first 5 tracks, but fuck it, you're not going to know because the rest of the album is unplayable.
It's broken, yeah. I've pulled fresh albums out of the plastic records and had them be scuffed or...
Really?
Because, I mean, they're so fucking fragile to begin with, and you ship them all over the country. Like, you're bound to get a scuffed up one every so often, but it's a bummer because those are expensive.
Yeah. God, think about when they were the way you consume music, just getting thrown around a warehouse, mountains of records, Well,
it's funny because, like, when you find records from back when they were the primary source of listening to music, and they're so chintzy, they're so thin, and you can, like, if you flop it, like, they're so, and they're kind of more durable. Whereas now you shell out for, like, big 180-gram, thick, fat-ass quality vinyl. It's like, but it also scuffs super fucking...
Interesting.
Like, they're not meant to be driven around in your car all day anymore. Like, you find an old Rick Springfield album, you can almost fold it into a taco and let it go, and it springs back to life and will still play. They used to be a little more indestructible.
You can use it as a funnel for motor oil.
Exactly, and then listen to it. Jesse's girl.
He had one other hit. It's a good song, too. It's like, they don't make them like that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, God, it's a good song. Yeah.
I have 2 Rick Springfield albums upstairs on the shelf.
I ain't going out of my way to see Rick Springfield, but if he goes on stage and I'm gorging myself on ribs at Rib Fest, well, I will sing Jesse's Girl through a mouthful of coleslaw.
You catch me on the right day, I might tell you that Jesse's Girl is one of the best songs there is.
I mean, it's hard to argue that.
Ever. Jesse's Girl is a fucking masterpiece.
I wonder if he would have had a longer shelf life musically. Because I think at the time it was kind of seen as he's the hunky guy from this this soap opera.
Sure.
And this isn't real.
Yeah.
You know, like,
this is a novelty.
Yeah. Oh, that was a big thing in the 80s. If you were a star of any level, there's a chance you could have a top 40 pop hit.
Yeah. I mean, plenty of actors still have bands. Like, actors doing music is still a thing. They just you don't know about it because they're not.
They're not trying to become stars.
Exactly.
Eddie Murphy had Party All the Time. That was a hit.
Yeah.
Like mid 80s, late 80s.
Like Keanu Reeves is in a band.
Bruce
Willis used to have.
Bruce Willis
was
had
a rapper?
No, bluesy guy.
I'm thinking of Marky Mark.
Yeah. Bruce Willis, I believe, in the very beginning of his being a movie star, had a minor hit on pop radio.
Yep.
Then he moved on to more bluesy, like, I'm a huge star, so I don't even have to worry about success.
Bruno that Bruce Willis went by.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, they still do it, you just don't know about it.
I feel like Patrick Swayze
I'd believe it.
You
could tell me anything.
And a minor hit.
Hulk Hogan, you know.
Turned down playing bass for Metallica.
Right, yeah, according to Hulk. Which is to say, that's a lie.
Or he asked if he could play, and they told him no. Who's the other band? There's a bigger band, I feel like, which is hard to imagine someone bigger than Metallica. But I think what makes no sense about that, when Cliff Burton died, Metallica was still like not a worldwide phenomenon.
They were still on the way up.
Yeah. Fucking, you had to be like a metalhead. Like, they weren't playing Master of Puppets on classic rock radio in 1985, you know, or like top 40, you know, like, to claim that you would abandon your megastar wrestling career to play bass for Metallica, such horseshit.
Shut the fuck up, Hulk.
God, I love how much Hulk Hogan lies.
He sucks so bad.
There's another one that makes the Rolling Stones. Because, you know, their bass player quit like in the 70s, and I think they've just kind of had or maybe the early 90s, they've just had a touring bass player.
Sure.
Like, if you look at the members of Rolling Stones, like in the last 25 years, it doesn't include a bass player. And he's claimed that why would they do that?
Right.
How weird would that
Go
be?
away.
This bunch of 80-year-old little British men, and then 6'8", 300-pound boiled sausage Hulk Hogan.
That'd be so bizarre to see on stage. He's 3 times the weight of Mick Jagger.
Full 1988 garb with the yellow and the red.
Yeah, feather boa, do-rag.
Yeah.
Playing that American flag bass that he has in the music video.
I mean, he was a bass player, so that part tracks, but there's a lot of bass players out there.
I bet most of those Rolling Stones ones aren't that complicated of tabs either.
Yep.
So
that is very true. I bet there ain't complex bass fills. That's a lot of what did Paul McCartney kind of say, kind of condescendingly? They're the world's best blues cover band.
That's fun.
R&B cover band or something. Yeah.
I mean, I'll take the Stones over the Beatles any day, but I don't care for either of them.
So I'm a big Stones guy, but I think it's the Beatles are probably more revolutionary, some of the studio stuff they did.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's it's boring.
I've never done a deep dive, but I
did last summer.
To.
Yep. That's why I have more of an appreciation for him now. It's just still not my thing.
Sure.
It's this is too much. Whiskers in Wonderlands, do 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 do. Ride the magic hat. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Some of their earliest stuff it has enough of that 50s diner sound that I like.
Yeah.
You know, so
Twist
I can listen to
exactly.
Twist and Shout 8 days a week. There are Beatles songs I can tolerate.
Yeah.
Revolution is a good song.
Yeah.
But
oh my God, they have some amazing songs. Yeah.
Let It Be is a good song. There's no way around that. But it's Am I gonna just sit and listen to one of these records? I don't fucking think so.
And I have a weird thing. I'm always skeptical of a band that didn't go out and play it live, because they were a studio band.
Oh, sure.
Because they were the most successful thing ever, so they didn't have to tour. You know, which God, those days gone.
Mm-hmm.
What are the last band? I'm trying to think if there was any 90s bands that way that never toured. You know, they're still making a lot of money.
Yeah. Did Tool tour heavy in their day? Because they're known as We Barely Tour.
Yeah.
So you better go
I
see
think
them.
they toured as much as any band did, but they had record label troubles. That's why there's such a big gap between Anima and Lateralis. Yeah, there's that. That's like, shit. 6 years there, you know, it's like, but I think when they had an album, they toured until the last 15 years or so. That like, because I think like there were plenty of them in the 70s, like Steely Dan never toured. The guy was like, the main guy had stage fright. Like they just hung out in a dark studio, made him fucking. That's a band I should do a deep dive on. I wonder what the hell.
I know the hits.
People
like two of them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Ricky, Don't Lose That Number. That's
a good song.
Yeah, they got a few. God, yeah, I can't think of any 90s. There had to have been one. It's just not crossing my mind. Because a lot of bands that had started having drug problems, they weren't putting out new albums. Like Alice in Chains might be the closest.
Sure.
But that was not their, like, we just want to make amazing shit in the studio. They wanted to tour.
Oh, yeah.
They just had a lead singer who made it impossible.
Who loved Airway.
Yeah. Like you look at how many Alice in Chains concerts there were. They had 1, 2, 3 mega selling albums and then 2 EPs. Well, one's still the best selling EP of all time. Like, and they fucking barely toured because they couldn't, you know, like, and their early touring was they were opening for like fucking weird hair metal bands because that within that transition time, like they might have opened for Megadeth a lot.
I'd believe that.
Yeah,
I'd go see that show. Well, I don't love Megadeth, but I do like Alice in
another
Chains
band
a bunch.
I have friends that love, but I hear that guy sing.
I like him more. I can tolerate Dave's voice better than you can, but it's not my favorite thing.
Hello, Meek. Oh, God, dude. Find somebody to sing.
Meet the real me.
Oh, man.
But you can bury it under enough guitars that I'm like, okay. Like I can grit my teeth and get through him singing to get to the guitar solo in Hangar 18.
Like, I wonder, you go to like, what do they call though they've toured maybe twice now where it's Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax, like the big four.
Godfathers of Thrash or whatever they call that group. Yeah.
You take 1,000 of them. What percentage are like, I'm team Megadeth? More than I'd think.
Like if you like made a pie chart of who are you here to see? I mean, Metallica's the biggest slice for sure. Gotta be.
But I think that slice is smaller amongst booger-eating metal fans than it would be, obviously, if it was just fair weather metal fans. I think for me, it's Metallica by a mile.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, me too.
But it feels like hardcore, like a lot of fucking Megadeth dorks out there. Like,
maybe it's closer to exactly split than you think it is.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like, 40% Metallica, 40% Megadeth, and then the other is split between those other two.
Feels like Anthrax would have to be the smallest, but
I would assume.
Yeah, because like they never really had a big crossover hit.
Well, yeah, I mean that one with House of Pain, or not House of Pain,
Chuck
Public
D,
Enemy. Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was around when I was a kid. Maybe it just didn't make it in Botno, I guess. But like,
I prefer Anthrax to Slayer, but I'm in the minority for sure. I know a lot of people that'll fucking go to the mats for Slayer.
It was one of their very first albums, had like probably still had their biggest hit.
Rain and Blood.
Yeah, that is a catchy fucking song.
I don't like his voice, and it's tough for me to like your band if I don't like your voice.
It's them too. it just gets so cartoony and corny. Like, the number of the beat, what are we doing? Like,
but I love that shit. Like, I was raised on Kiss and Meatloaf.
See,
you know, I love Iron Maiden. Like, I'm kind of here for the lore.
See, like with some of that, like with like Rob Zombie and stuff, it feels like there's like a little winking at you, like, hey, we're having a good time. Like they kind of like when they try to be real about
Take
it
a little too serious.
Yeah.
No, we love the devil. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right.
Like that's why I can't even like consider liking like European death metal. It's like, you fucking dorks, you know, laying around on couches. Like, oh my god!
You ever listen to that last podcast on the Left series about the Norwegian black metal church burnings?
It's fucking fascinating.
Yeah, it's a great listen, but the whole time you are like, these guys are fucking dorks.
Yeah, it's like, well, they're all just on unemployment.
yeah. The social systems in Norway are too good.
Yeah, they're the only reason those bands existed.
Yeah.
And there's people that's their fucking thing.
I
God
know
bless
plenty
them.
of people. I own a few Norwegian death metal albums.
On vinyl?
No, just I mean
purchased back when
own as in I have it on my fucking phone. Yeah. Like Dimmu Borgir. I own an Emperor record. Like I'm not completely immune to it. It grazed me a little.
Like with so many of them, like they look like the shittiest backyard wrestling version of Demolition. So much weird leather on.
That's such a good joke because you didn't give them Legion of Doom. You gave they're the shitty version of the knockoff.
Yeah,
that's so good. That's very
because
funny.
I can think of them because those guys used to wear that weird body harness,
the studded.
And that was something you'd see in pictures of like
the masks with the weird cape in the back of the head.
The leather hockey mask with the cape was the one part of Demolition's look I liked.
All of it was good. The Rob Halford chest harness.
Yeah, they always had like the full wrist things too.
Yeah, they went for it.
So I loved like 1988, 89 Legion of Doom Road Warriors. Black football helmets, real steel spikes, and that was about it.
Yeah,
they took a while to find their look because they used to do just the studded dog collars and the wrist things, but they kind of dropped a lot of that.
Yeah, and you see them before they get their makeup quite figured out. You see old interviews. You're like, put the spider on there, animal.
God, fucking early animal paint is bad. Yeah. It doesn't cover enough of his face.
Nope. It's just like a few lines.
It looks like he was in a hurry at the carnival.
Yeah, looked like he was trying to do Sting, but he didn't have any white, so he still tried to draw the lines. I saw Demolition wrestle way before I ever heard of the Road Warriors, so I was like, fucking Demolition's where it's at.
Shit, yeah. I bet you're not alone because WWF had such, even in 1989, had such more reach.
Had a bigger reach, yeah, exactly.
Like, especially to kids.
Yeah.
They clearly marketed. They had a cartoon. They had toys, like the NWA was still more for fucking,
more for dads.
Yeah. Even though it's not like it was racy, it was just the storylines.
Yeah.
The characters were more human. Sometimes they had a lot of goofy shit too.
Like Dusty Rhodes' thing was that he also is a working man,
exactly. Who's cosplaying as a sassy black man.
Yeah. For some reason. Wrestling is so weird.
So fucking weird.
Man. Wrestling's so dumb and great and terrible.
And cool.
And the best.
And the lamest thing ever.
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a real...
Imagine dating a woman from another country, like a first date that wrestling isn't part of the culture, and you had to explain it to them.
Oh boy!
So what are you doing tomorrow?
What accent is that? Where's she from? Based on that accent,
I'm thinking ocean, somewhere like north of Australia, but not Southeast Asia.
Okay,
some tiny island.
You mean directly north of Australia? I was like, brother, everything's north of Australia.
Maybe like Papua New Guinea. Like what place has no wrestling? Most of the world's got wrestling
of some sort.
Yeah, sometimes these giant men are on TV and they wear the tiniest underpants.
It's so tiny.
They spray tan and then they pretend to fight. A lot of hugging.
And they're really oily.
Yeah. Why would you do this?
And they just kind of hug each other a lot in various... Some of them have paint.
Yeah.
or masks. This one's a tiger man.
This guy pretends he's possessed by the devil.
Yeah,
that happens.
This one's an army guy.
But he's good army guy. There's bad army guy.
There's also bad
too.
Army guy.
Yeah, they switch though. Sometimes they switch.
This one's whole thing is that he's Arab, and listen, it's not great. It's pretty troublesome.
She's just staring through you at this point. How do I get back to Papua New Guinea?
Trying to show her really terrible, like early 90s WWF where everything was a This guy's a dentist.
He's fighting a garbage man.
But why, if they're dentists and garbage men, why are they doing this? It's like their side job. I don't know.
Oh, fuck it. Of that era, I didn't get to see him wrestle, but the guy that was the goon.
Oh, the hockey goon, yeah.
And he had his boots were supposed to look like skates.
Oh, boy.
What is going on? I just love the idea that they're pulling some dude out of Mid-South Wrestling who's just been revered as just a company man that do anything you ask, and he's always done all right for you, so we've done all right with him and handshake agreements, and then he goes to Connecticut. Yeah. It's like, well, you're a magician now.
Oh, wrestling.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought we talked about wrestling again this time, Nathan?
The trouble, the Simpsons to wrestling ratio is wildly out of whack for this.
Kind of a short one, but we got to hit the road. We're gonna go tell jokes tonight.
Good people of South Dakota.
They deserve it.
They did.
We're gonna bring it to them.
Yeah, we'll see.
Deserving or not.
Good Friday.
It is Good Friday.
Yeah.
Let's make it a great Friday.
Bye, everybody.